My video for September the 10th, 2018, which is video number 2842, is entitled Awakening and Brainwashing Cannot Coexist. Yesterday, I watched over an hour of a video by Trey Smith, in which he was trying to show that Earth is of much more recent origin than what we've been told in the 20th century. While it was well done and interesting, especially some of the 19th century material cited, I finally shut it off. I'm sure we have been told lies our entire lives, and many around the world are awakening to this reality. Neither our governments, religions, or media can be trusted. They continue to feed us bits and pieces of truth mixed with an abundance of lies. It is my sincere hope and prayer that whatever the Creator really is, he or she will stop the brainwashing and bring the truth out in a manner that will help us see the great deception in which humanity has been entrapped. I do not believe we can ever be truly free until we understand how we got into the situation in which we find ourselves. No amount of happy thoughts or positive thinking can or will end the deception. Any awakening will be initiated only by facing the painful truth, not by denial. This realization puts me at odds with many people I have known throughout my life. With all my heart, I wish there was an easier way, but I don't see it. Yes, that video by Trey Smith was called Noah, The Truth is Bigger Than You Thought. The Journey Begins. And he has other videos out about the Nephilim and the true story of Satan, fallen angels, giants, etc. And he also has a video about Trump, the ancient prophecy. I do think that the video that I watched, the part that I watched, was well done. Now, I haven't seen any part of the other two videos that I just named, but I noticed them on the list with the video that I did watch an hour and 20 minutes approximately of. And he makes some interesting points in regard to things, and he cites news articles and stuff from the 19th century that were completely different than things that we've been told especially the latter part of the 20th century. Things that I'm familiar with, and that those that are as old as I am may also be familiar with. The fact that we've been lied to is not even questioned by me, or I don't think by very many truth seekers. Most of us realize that a lot of what we've been told has a lot of missing pieces and a lot of misconstrued conceptions. Even the theory of Darwin's evolutionary theory, he quoted Darwin, or he cited Darwin, the doubts that Darwin himself had. And yet that's taught in our universities and even primary and high school level classes. Everybody's been brainwashed with a certain ideology and a certain idea that is not true. And how can we be free by believing lies? To me, we can't. As long as we don't know the truth, we cannot be liberated from the deception. We have to first be willing to admit, hey, I got it wrong. It's not easy to do. It wasn't easy for me to re-examine some of the beliefs that I held all my life in relationship, especially to God and to how the kingdom of heaven was supposed to unfold and didn't. I've had to come to grips with a lot of things and admit that there are many blanks that I don't know how to fill in anymore. I thought I did, but I don't. That, for me, is part of my awakening. It leaves me frustrated in a great sense. It's very mind-boggling, and it doesn't make me feel good knowing that I don't have some of the answers that I thought I did have. I'd like there to be a loving God. You've heard me say that over and over if you've been listening to my videos. I'd like there to be a creator that takes responsibility for creation. And people say, but we've created this. And yes, we have been duped into creating a false reality. It has gone on for certainly centuries. It may not be as old, if Trey Smith is correct. It may be much more recent than what some people have said and what I've believed myself. I've believed that it's much more ancient, but he cites certain things in his video about Noah that just don't make sense. He has some things that he presented with footprints of human footprints with dinosaurs in the same strata. Now, is that true, or is that something that has been a fake that has been created? I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer, but I scratch my head and I wonder what is true anymore. I'd like to know. I'd like to not be brainwashed. I'd like to have not only an awakening, but an ability by turning on the codons that have been turned off, according to some analysts. I'd like those turned back on so that I can see the bigger picture. And if we all were able to see the bigger picture, I think we'd finally be able to become liberated and become loving and become open-minded enough to see that none of us have all the answers. We've all been deceived. We've all been cajoled into a certain way of thinking that puts us at odds. My way is the right way. My way is better than your way. Well, no. It may have good points, but when we start comparing it, we're not being wise. Comparing ourselves among ourselves, a saying goes from, I believe, the Bible, is not wise. And it's not. Because not any group, I don't care what name you put on it, what label you put on it, no group has all the answers. None of them. And all have deception that has been interwoven into the system. You know, I go to Hindu meetings regularly, and I'll be going again after I make this video sometime a little bit later today. I'll be going to another Hindu meeting. But the whole idea of a caste system to me is simply wrong. There is no caste. There is no higher and lower. There are no superior beings. There are no elite. But yet there's been an elite establishment that has saddled humanity with lies and cruel treatment for a long, long time. Will that ever end? I certainly hope so. I want it to. How about you? What's your hope for the future, or do you have any? Thank you for listening, and namaste.